This is Train Sim World 6, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hoboken, New Jersey. Yes, and I never knew this, but apparently Hoboken is one of the busiest stations in the US. Again, I had never actually heard of this station before. Yeah, it's pretty busy here. But today we have a very interesting job. We'll be driving multiple trains, doing a little bit of a train hopping. We're gonna hop in the Arrow 3, which we have right here, aka the Jersey Arrow. But we'll also be driving the New Jersey Transit AOP 45 DP dual power. So that's what we're gonna start off at here in Hoboken. We're a little early. Our service doesn't start for another 5 minutes or so. So we're gonna make our way over to track, what was it? Let me check my work order here. Track 17 with a departure time of 5:48 today. It's gonna be pretty interesting. We're gonna drive down, we'll make a swap. We have another train to hop into. So it's actually very important that we are on time today because we do not want to miss our second train. So you see there's a passenger information board there. We are currently on track 14, and we'll kind of give you guys a quick look at Hoboken first before you head out. We will not be returning to Hoboken today, but a very nice looking station, I must say. Pretty cool, much nicer than I expected. Matter of fact, one of my favorite stations. It might be my favorite station actually on this particular route, but pretty cool. So we walk over this way. There's track 15, and let's see where that train is going. This train is going to Spring Valley. This one over here is going to Waldwick in about 15 minutes or so. And then our train, as I said, over on track 17, actually. Oh, there's a fire hydrant, or fire extinguisher we can put back. So run over here. This is our train, 550. To Dover, departs in about 5 minutes. So this is our train. We'll pick this one up right here. We will be the engineer on this train. As I said, we'll be driving westbound, I believe, out of Hoboken. And our final stop will be Dover today. But we will not take this train straight to Dover. We'll be swapping trains, switching to the Arrow 3 a little later on. So it'll be pretty cool. But again, it's very important that we get there on time, or else we will not catch our second train. Train Sim World 6 did introduce random faults and random events happening throughout the route, so it is definitely possible that we could have some, failure to our train. All kind of delays can happen on our route today. So it's very important that we, if they do happen, that we, fix them as soon as possible to make sure we're actually on time. The station looks great, man. Looks good. There's a lot of tracks here, pretty busy out here as well. If you look out that way, you can just barely see the New York skyline. And it sounds like there's another train departing right now. I wonder where he's heading to. Nice. So yeah, we'll be doing a little bit of train hopping, a little bit of train driving, but also a little bit of train spotting, or rail fanning, as some people may call it. So I always make some time for rail fanning and train spotting. Let's hop in, go ahead and take over our train here. Alright, climb up the steps, get the door shut. There we go. Everything is good back here. We're not going to worry about safety systems today. We're going to take it easy. Okay, it is time to begin our service. First things first, let's put the reverser handle in and push that forward into the neutral position. I'm going to go ahead and click on cut in for the brakes here, the red button right there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and take my black handle, the independent brake, push that forward to full application, and we'll pull the automatic brake down to release, all the way down to the bottom. And while we're doing all this, we'll go ahead and get the right side doors opened up here. So we'll go ahead and hit unlock the right side doors. Beautiful. We'll go ahead and get our headlights to dim for now, and our ditch lights to auto. And that's pretty much all we need to do. Again, we're not going to worry about the safety systems. Oh yeah, we also might want a little bit of air conditioning down here. So it's going to be right here. Air conditioning operation mode will be to automatic. So right now we're actually in diesel mode. Our pantograph is down, as you can see. The engine fans are spinning. You can see the exhaust pushing out the top there. This train again is called the AOP 45 DP, DP for dual power. That means it can be diesel generated or electric generated or powered, however you want to say that. But the doors should be opening in the back and letting passengers on as we speak. Alright, it is time for us to depart. Let's go ahead and close again. Those are right side doors. Since we're ready to go, I'll go ahead and get our headlights into the bright position here. Everything else up here looks good. We'll go ahead and give it a little bit of throttle. I like to put in a couple notches there, even though the notification says elsewhere. And go independent brake to off and bail off. We should start rolling forward here nice and slowly. Right on time. Again, time is of we are rolling backwards, and I know exactly why. I always do this. I forget to put the reverser into forward. Yeah, so we actually got to bring our throttle back to off. I always forget to do this. We'll push the reverser to forward. Do not forget to put the reverser forward. I should just do that in the beginning anyways. Now we'll go ahead and add some power, and we'll release our independent brake like so. And you can now see those two blue lines showing that we do have tractive effort. Our brake cylinder is going down, and we are slowly moving forward. We'll get the bell on as we roll out of here. And you can see here we have pan down, and we are in loco mode diesel right there. So we are a diesel locomotive right now, but later on, we will actually do a power change and switch over to electric. All right, bell off, and gonna come out here about 15 miles an hour. I absolutely love driving in and out of Hoboken here on the Morristown line. Love that sun. I think the sun's setting right now, but it's very busy looking. Look at that train rolling in right now as we depart. Another train is arriving, but it's a very busy looking terminal here, and that's why I like it. I really like and enjoy just busy busy routes and busy stations. It brings so I say this like every train sim video, but it brings so much life, man. It's so important to have life, I feel like, in a route in train sim, because it can be so you know, so dull if there's not enough going on, you know what I mean? Especially when you're driving around slowly like we are right now. But I love seeing all of the overhead lines and all of the distant signals and things like that. It's just really cool. You see, we got two reds over green, which most likely mean we have a diverging here, so we'll be probably swapping from the left track, probably across a couple tracks to the right. So I'm predicting here. Now we do already show our first random event of our day today, and that is it's like a TSR, a temporary speed restriction, coming up in probably about a half a mile from now, of 25 miles per hour as we switch over to the right track. I gotta admit, the diesel engine on this thing does sound pretty legit. We have another train rolling in as we depart on the left. Again, like, I've already seen like 3 trains since we left the station. So again, life on this route, busyness on this route. I like it. I'll be honest, one of my first concerns when I found out about this route and what was going to be on this route was that, you know, I thought it was going to be kind of, you know, dull, I guess, you know, because all we have is 2 trains on this route. We have actually technically 3, but I really count it as 2, because the 45 and the 46 look the same. They're the same train to me. So hate me in the chat if you want, but they're the same train. One just has diesel, whatever. Anyways, but all we have is basically the ALPs and then the Aero. Just 2 different train types. There's no Amtrak on this route. There's no, There's no Boston, you know, obviously there's no Boston here. All right, we have our first TSR coming up. That sign right there shows S. I assume that means slow. So there's something going on in this tunnel. Some sort of track work, or who knows what they're working on out here, causing for this this short. And then R, so that's the end of it. So the R is the end of the speed restriction, which I assume means resume or something like that. But that's a very, I mean, every speed, like temporary speed restriction I've seen so far in Train Sim World 6 have all been very short. I mean, that had to be like maybe 50 feet long. So I don't know why they're so short. I feel like the whole tunnel should have had a restriction through it, you know, like usually, maybe I could be wrong about this, but isn't it usually that track is broken? You see that? That's wrong. This is a cool little section here. Usually it's like a whole block, like from signal to signal, you would kind of think. I don't know. I don't work on the railroad. You guys can let me know how that works in real life. But anyways, you know, that was our first random event, and you know, it does add some things. It doesn't really slow you down too much because it only slows you down for such a short period of time that it's not gonna make us late. We should still get there right on time, I hope. Because if we don't, we might have some dispatching issues. We'll see. The place we're going is very busy. Matter of fact, that is Newark Broad Street. So this is a particularly interesting service that we're running with this train right now. We're departing out of Hoboken, as you just saw. We have a yellow signal up ahead, followed by potentially a red, probably on the other side of this tunnel. We'll watch out for that. But what I'm saying is, we're only going straight to Newark Broad Street. There are quite a few stations between Hoboken and Newark Broad Street, but we're going straight through. We're going to stop at Newark Broad Street. That's where we'll do our power changeover. We'll switch from diesel to electric, but we're also going to hop off and switch to our next train and continue from there all the way to Dover. I see, going to service. I should have turned my gauge lights on. And I think we're going to have a stop right before this bridge. Beautiful bridge, by the way. We'll just hold the brakes right there. But I'm loving flying into the sun, seeing the reflection of the sun off of the rails and whatnot. I mean, it's still a bit too reflective off of like the sleepers and stuff, but you know, it'll do. It'll do. Alright, coming up on the bridge here, and they still have us restricted at 30 miles an hour. We'll get a 75 here in just a little bit. You can see the other bridge over there on the left. Now this route does at one point run parallel to the New Jersey Trenton route that we already have in Train Sim World. So I'll show you guys exactly where that is when we get to it. But if we go to the map now, since we're waiting, and you can see we departed out of Hoboken, which is over here, this big old area. New York Penn, I think is that's Sunnyside Yard, I think, right? Where's New York Penn? I think this might be New York Penn. Yeah, this is New York Penn right over here. And that goes this way, up the top side. And then they both kind of come together over here ahead of us. It's pretty interesting, honestly. All right, we can go 75 now. Let's speed up. But I do like the scenery. I mean, it's very, like at least this area is very industrial looking. You can see on the left side, got some grain silos. But definitely some diversity scenery-wise. You got the city part, you got the industrial areas, you even have the countryside area as well. So it does mix up on the scenery. It doesn't all look the same the entire way, which is nice. It's not just you driving straight through a line of trees for an hour. You know what I mean? Definitely a good mix. And then we'll be driving underneath part of it. Yep, there it is. So that train on our right side, I believe that train is coming from New York Penn. I don't know if it's coming onto the Morristown line or if it's going to like the New Jersey Trenton direction. But they do cross over, and that's pretty sick right there. That's pretty sick, to be honest with you. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That is cool. That is cool, I have to admit. Oh, and there's a, I think it's an arrow going up the hill. Yep, it was. 3 trains in that shot right there. Man, I'm not getting great performance, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The stutters are not gone in Train Sim World, and I'm not gonna edit that out. I'm still getting stutters. Alright, we got us a race. We got us a race. Check that. Okay, come on, hold on, pause. Oh, wait, hold on. Not yet, not yet. Now pause. Let's see if it works. Oh, it's blocked by the freaking tree. We'll try it again. 3, 2, okay. We got like bushes between us. I'm trying to catch the money shot. Oh, I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. Hey, we know we won the race. Yeah, so that train, yep, so that train is definitely going to Newark, actually. Yeah, that train's going to Newark, because, like, we're going to Newark Broad Street. We gotta slow down, too. This is why I don't have... This is exactly, there's an arrow 3 right there. Zooming by. This is exactly why I don't have the same safety systems on right now, because of that reason. I want to, you know, in case I'm not paying attention at some point. Alright, let's get slowed down to 30. We do have our stop coming up here. We'll stay in the brakes until we get down to about 30 miles an hour. And we're gonna want to be at 30 before we get to that bridge that's coming up. Go ahead and release. We're going uphill as well, so we pass the Harrison CP control point. But yeah, that last piece we just saw, that's really the only time we cross and really see much of the New Jersey Trenton route. So you could potentially see some Amtrak there. Maybe. I haven't seen any yet, but...
The next station stop is Newark Broad Street. When leaving the train, please watch the gap.
But potentially we could see him there. Definitely love the new passenger announcements. All right, cool. All right, we're approaching Newark Broad Street. Another really cool station on this route. I always remember it because it's like the really cool tall building with the clock on it. You'll see when we get a little closer. But I'm a little sad, I'm not gonna lie. I'm enjoying driving this train. At first I didn't really like it, but I've gotten a better understanding of how the lap brake system works. And so now that I understand it, like I'm much more confident. We are a little bit late. We should have been here like a minute ago, but that's okay. We still got time to catch our next train. We got plenty of time, actually. We're coming over here on the 3rd track. Yeah, you see it now? There's a tall, like, bell tower, I guess, with the clock on it. So, pretty cool little station here. We get the bell on as we roll into the station, and we'll bring it to the end of the platform. They got lots of passengers waiting here. But yeah, I'm a little sad that we'll be ditching this train, because I have been getting used to it. I do want to practice driving with the safety systems on, because I do want to do that later on, but not today. I'm not ready. Need to get some practice in there. It's a little bit overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, learning the ATC access plus the lap brake system as well. So I'm bringing all the way to the end of the platform here. There's you just saw an Arrow 3 leave, and another train is here. This is also another station that's very busy, Newark Broad Street. A lot of trains stop and go here. A lot of the trains go different directions too. If I find the route map, I'll explain a little bit about that. I think this is good. We'll stop here.
This station Newark Broad Street.
All right, we made it to Newark Broad Street, and before we get off the train, we need to do the change of power mode, and to do that is actually very, very easy. I'm first just gonna get my independent brake on to kind of hold us in place, and we'll put my reverser into neutral, and then really all we need to do here is take our pantograph and put it into the up position. We'll hold it there for about 3 to 6 seconds. There it is.
Command the pan up for 3 seconds.
All right, so push the pan up for 3 seconds again. 1, 2, 3.
Transition into electric mode started.
Hey, as she says, we're now transitioning to electric mode. You can see now we actually have voltage coming in through the pantograph.
Electric mode engaged.
Our actual diesel engine is now in cool down mode, and it says local mode is now in electric. So we're now officially in electric mode for now on, but we are actually going to be hopping off of this train. I'm actually going to get the automatic brake off. We'll get the doors open, get the passengers off, and allow the new engineer to get on the train. And we're going to hop off this train and onto our Aero 3, which will be here very, very shortly. So let's get the doors open and do that first. Okay, new engineer has now boarded the train, and he will take the train from here. I'll explain here a little bit why we didn't drive the train all the way to Dover. Because as I said, I really did enjoy driving. I really did enjoy driving the ALP 45, much more than I expected. But anyways, let's take a quick walk around Newark Broad Street while we wait for our train. Our train will be here in about 10 minutes or so. Matter of fact, let's take a look at this map really quickly as he's shutting the doors. So we are currently here where the Northeastern Corridor and Morristown line cross over. Just beyond that in Newark and Broad Street. Let's watch this train roll out here. As I said, we'll be doing a little bit of train spotting, a little bit of train driving, and a little bit of train hopping as that train heads out. But again, we're not going to be driving that one because he's going to Dover, but not straight to Dover. And I'll show you on the map where exactly that train is going, but it's actually going to be driving off of the Morristown line. And it's going to rejoin with the Morristown line later tonight, like a few hours from now. Well, I think like a couple hours from now. If we go back to the map here real quick, and I'll show you exactly where it's going. It's actually going over to the Montclair University line. So right now, again, as I said, we're right here at Newark and Broad Street. And the red line is the one that goes north from here towards Montclair State University, Lincoln Park, and so on, and then it connects back with the Morristown line here at Denville, and it continues to Dover and so on. Again, our route is the green line going from New York Penn and Hoboken through here, through the Morristown line, and through there. So that's the route we need to go, so we need to find a train that does that. Thankfully, I already have that scheduled, so there is a train coming in. It's going to be an Aero 3 heading westbound. It's going to take us to Dover instead of having to wait for that other train to go the long way. And here comes another train. Now, if you want to have a station that has really good like train spotting opportunities, this station is a great station to do it at. Pretty often, there's quite a lot of trains coming and going out of here. It's pretty cool, to be honest with you. I've actually really enjoyed being at this station. I mean, since we got here, we've already seen like 1, 2, 3, like 4, maybe even 5 trains already, just since we've been here in a short period of time. Oh, there it is. Here comes our train, the Aero 3, aka the Jersey Aero, rolling up on track 2. And we need to find our way back over there to track 2 before it's time for us to leave. Look how the sun reflects off of that like aluminum metal siding. It's so cool looking. I love the texture. Man, it's a pretty busy station here at Newark. Wow. And I'm actually going to enter in through the passenger area so I can show you guys what it looks like. So it's pretty old looking. Doesn't look very comfortable at all. To be honest, I don't think I would want to ride this train for very long in real life. But, you know, it looks pretty authentic. We have some of those passenger in-cab sounds now, or interior passenger sounds. Not much though. I mean, it's really not that busy, but I don't know. I feel like it's really not that interesting. All right, let's go ahead and hop on and we'll take control of this route. All right, just a few seconds before we need to head out. Again, we're not going to worry about the safety systems on this run, but we do have our control plug-in. We are ready to close our doors on the right side. Right now, we're sitting on the automatic brake. It's a very simple train to drive. Let's go ahead and release that automatic brake, and we'll take our master control to the right side and put it into forward. And it only has 3 positions, so we'll go straight into position 3. And there we go, we're rolling out. And as you can see, there's a train rolling in right behind us. Again, a very, very busy station. I almost feel like, mainly because there's only 3 tracks, it kind of feels even more busy than Hoboken itself. There's obviously a lot more trains there at one time at Hoboken, and it's a much larger station there. But it's just because there's only 3 tracks. And I mean, while we were sitting there, there had to be 6 trains. I mean, we were only there for like a 10-minute layover, I think it was. Was it 10 minutes? I think like 10-minute layover. We saw like 6 trains. That's crazy. That is crazy. All right, brakes are released. We have a slowdown coming up because we do have a yellow over green, which is going to probably slow us down about 45. Now, since we don't have the safety systems turned on, it's not like actually making us slow down or giving us penalty brakes and things like that. But I'm still, as I said with the ALP, going to follow you know, the rules here best I can. So next stop is going to be Short Hills. We'll be on track 2. And we'll continue all the way to Dover. Alright, after we come around the bend, we can now go up to 60 miles an hour on a 1.1% grade. I think it's gonna be uphill most of the way here. This thing gets up to speed pretty quick. And the Aero 3 is very easy to drive. One of the easier trains to drive. You have this one lever for, you know, go forward, go backwards, and you have the brakes. That's basically it. Alright, already at 60. I tell you, this thing goes quick. The brakes are pretty good on it as well, so makes it much easier to drive as we clip into the sun. Looking really good here. Looking really good. Don't worry, we're not stopping there. Oh, we're about 3 miles out from Short Hills, and we just caught up to another train on the right, and it looks like we're about to overtake him around the outside. Actually, okay, he's stopping. I think he's stopping. I think he's stopping. Yeah, he's stopping. GG's. Good race. I was gonna get him anyways. Oh, that's really cool. I love it when that happens. All right, we're getting prepared to stop at Short Hills.
Stop is Short Hills. When leaving the train, please watch the gap.
Let's make sure we don't miss it. But again, as I mentioned, the brakes are pretty good in the Aero 3. So, and looks like we're a minute and a half early or so. And I don't see the platform yet. Looks like a curved platform. Yep, there it is. Alright, we're on the brakes. Yep, there's a bunch of people here waiting for us as well, which is good. Sun is setting. It's starting to get a bit dark out there because the sun is now kind of dipped behind the trees. We'll bring it to a stop right here. Should be far enough. The brakes squealing.
This station stop is Short Hills.
The vestibule bullseye marker light fuse has gone out. Okay, we have some sort of failure with the train. I don't know how to fix that, to be honest. Vestibule marker. Where would that be? I don't even know where the fuses are. Alright, it's a compartment back here. Let's get up real quick, or letting the passengers move. Maybe it's here. PTC system. No, we're not going to turn that on. Is this it here? Main voltage selector? No. Lights, ditch crossings. Oh, here it is. Vestibule bullseye. Yep, that was it. Alright, fault fixed. So I don't know what setting I have to turn on to get it to actually show me how to fix the failure. So far, all the faults I've gotten is say, hey, this is wrong with your train, but it never tells me how to fix it. Alright, let's shut the doors on the right. Usually turning on something and turning it back on, well, turning it off and back on fixes it, but the issue is if you don't know how to turn it all on, then you're kind of stuck. Alright, brakes off. Let's get out of here. It's like, for example, like if like the headlights are out, you have to know where the fuse is to turn the headlights back on. Not the headlight button, but like the fuse for the headlights. Same thing goes with what we just did, or you know, or whatever. So I don't know if I don't have the setting on correctly, but I mean, I have the notification that tells me that it's broken. You can turn that off and it won't even tell you it's broken. You have to figure it out yourself that it's broken, and then you gotta go fix it. But I find that it's easier. That's why I have notifications turned on. And usually I would have that stuff turned off. It's kind of a distracting when it pops up on the screen all the time. But yeah, I don't know how to do it, but I'm sure there's probably a way for it to tell you how to fix a fault. Because I mean, eventually I would like to turn off the notifications and just be like, all right, well, I gotta fix a door or whatever, and I just know how to fix it. There's only so many, you know, failures that can happen to your train right now. It's very few failures that can happen to your train right now. So I think it'd be pretty easy if you drive a certain train a lot or a certain route a lot to understand how to fix, you know, the 5 faults that you can have. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would like to turn it off. I like how we have like these different color ballast on the track. I noticed this all over the Morristown line, and you'll notice it on different sides of the track. Basically, they've replaced the ballast with like newer, grayer, or lighter ballast, and it's actually pretty cool. It adds quite a bit of texture and character to the actual route itself. Speaking of that, in the past, I've had a lot of complaints of the you know, the rocks underneath there, the ballast not matching, you know, and it seems to be a little bit better here than it's been in the past. So kudos to them on that. They did a good job, I think. Still get some pop in, still have some weird shadowing stuff happen as well, and all of that. None of that's been fixed. None of the stutters or the track shadows or the pop-in effect, all that stuff is the same from Train Sim World like 2 or 3 or 4, one of those. We might have a red up here. We do have a stop. Do we have a red after the stop?
The stop is Summit. When leaving the train, please watch the gap.
Alright, we are approaching Summit. Matter of fact, I can see the station now. I have a train on the left. I think that's... I've seen that train there quite a few times, and I'm wondering if that's like where they put trains for storage. I think that's a storage track there on the left. But we'll keep it nice and slow as we approach now into Summit. We'll be on track 1. And I love the sounds on the Aero 3. It sounds really good and old. And just like, it just sounds like you're driving in a massive tin can. It really does. You turn your sounds up and just like listen to it, you'll hear it. Alright, we're approaching it. Yep, we have a red light right afterwards. And we'll make sure not to run that light, or else, guess what? We get fired. As always. Alright, it's right there. So there's the red light ahead of us. And it's getting dark. Like, it's like not quite dark enough to get the night lighting. Not quite day enough to get that beautiful sunset we were getting earlier. I wouldn't mind doing a service like this that drives into the night completely. All right, bring it all the way to the end of the platform. There we
Next
go.
stop is Summit.
Set those brakes. And the safety. And open the right side doors. All right, well, we're hopping out of this train as well. And we need to get out of here before they lock us in here. This train is going to continue to Gladstone, which is also off the map. This train is actually not going to Dover. So I think we might have hopped on the wrong train, because we're supposed to be on a train to Dover. So now, we need to go look at the passenger information board so we can find a train going to Dover, which will probably be the train we passed. That's my actual guess. Let's see. Hackett, yep, the Hackettstown train will be here in 3 minutes. That's the train we passed earlier. That's actually hilarious. That's actually hilarious. We had a chance. We could have been driving on that train the whole time, but I decided that I want to be extra and hop between a bunch of different trains. All right, well, here comes our next train, and it's actually about 5 minutes late. Which is actually pretty interesting. I feel like this whole day has been a pretty cool experiment. I've done all this in one sitting. I mean, we started at Hoboken in the AOP 45. We stopped over at Newark something, whatever the name of that station is. We hopped over to the Arrow 3, and now we're here, all in one sitting, and everything was on time before, and now I don't know, it's because of TSR somewhere or random faults, I don't know, but for whatever reason, the trains are not all on time anymore, which is actually cool. I don't know if I can even get into the cab because he's actually on the other side. Yeah, so this is definitely the wrong train. I don't know where this train came from or where it's going. But it came here, it stopped, it did not open the doors, and I don't know if it's ever gonna leave because it's at a red signal and there is nothing in its way. There's no trains ahead. So we're gonna do something that I don't like doing. We're gonna actually see if we can fix this by deleting the train. So I'm gonna click on the train and hit remove train, confirm. That train is now gone, and the train that we actually wanted is right behind him. So let's see if this guy rolls in. And this is probably the reason why the trains are not on schedule, or I don't know, there's been some sort of knock-on effect at some point where dispatcher has gotten confused. And this is exactly what I was a bit worried about when it came to the random faults and random events. Which, again, I love the feature. Wait, is there another train behind this one? Do I see another? I do. Bro, there's like trains lined up. Okay, he's hitting a different track. Alright, we gotta hurry up and get on because this train is late. And he will not be here for long. So let's run to the front as fast as we can, or else we're gonna be a passenger. If we're lucky. Oh no, he's closed the door already. No. Oh my god. Okay. Well, you know, again, this was a bit of an experiment when I started this video. The train hopping, and you know, if we're not on time in many ways, we weren't gonna make it, and I don't know what I did wrong here, but we've caused all kind of trouble on the Morristown line, and we have missed our train. Well, we technically caught the train. We're on the train, except we're not driving the train. It looks like our next stop is Chatham. I didn't hear an announcement or anything like that. I was kind of hoping to hear that, so we'll wait till we get to Chatham, and maybe we can take a train from there.
The next station stop is Chatham. When leaving the train, please watch the gap.
Sweet. Passenger announcements sound even better when you're back here. Alright, we're approaching Chatham, and we're going to try to attempt to take over this train. I'm just gonna make my way to the... Wait, is this the forward one? Oh yeah, we're already in the front. Okay, we're good. Very good. One of the other cool things you could do, if you want, is you could actually play as a guard or conductor in guard mode.
This station stop is Chatham.
Alright, doors are open for us, so we'll go ahead and walk off at Chatham. Won't be here long again because we are late. Oh, come on, up the door. And it sounds like he's already closing the doors. We might have to ride. Or she, sorry. Alright, we did it, guys. My train. And we are ready to go. I think the doors are shut. Yep, they are. Yep, doors are shut and locked. Let's roll out. Ditch lights on auto. Headlights on bright. Gauge lights on. Man, the nighttime has fallen. I can't believe I've been on here this long. And it's like we're rolling out, and so is the other train on the other track. Alright, next stop is Madison Track 1. We are back in control of this thing. Wow, what a turn of events. I'm promising you guys I did not plan any of that. The only part that I planned was the train hopping from you know, from the AOP to the Arrow the first time. But I really thought that Arrow was gonna take us all the way to Dover, but I was wrong. I was wrong. That train did not take us all the way. So now we're gonna take this train all the way to Dover. Alright, approaching Denville, and out here to the west of the route is where we're seeing a lot more railroad crossings, which is kind of nice. Now, that train that we originally started on actually will be approaching Denville again at some point tonight. I don't know exactly when, but it looks like we're going to be blocking the road for this stop. Yeah, that's interesting. Like the platform is split in two. I've never seen that before. Oh, let's stop here then. I've seen platforms before or after a railroad crossing, but not in the middle of a railroad crossing. That's interesting. But yeah, I mean, there's nobody getting on. Like, no one bothers to get on this train anymore. We're so late. They're like, I guess we'll wait for the next one. I don't even know. Really cool station, though. Really cool station. All right. Next up, we have our next and final stop, Dover. Okay, we are finally approaching Dover Station, almost 10 minutes late. Not as bad as I thought. I thought we'd be even later than this. But I'll take it as we roll in. I'm gonna stop prematurely here. Because I got too much brakes in.
This station stop is Dover.
Oh, wow. So there's another power changeover point at Dover too? I did not know that. That's cool. So we're actually going to go ahead and just kind of pull forward to the end of the platform, and then we'll do the power changeover back to diesel, and then we'll hop off, and this will be our final stop. Yeah, I was not expecting this run to be so eventful. I knew it would be fun, and it was, honestly. I with my whole heart believe this was a really fun run. I'm actually looking forward to doing it again and doing it better next time. Alright, that's far enough. This was fun. Definitely ran into some issues and some bugs in here and there. But, you know, as always, this is an early access version, right? Let's go ahead and get the diesel turned on now. So go independent brake on, automatic brake to release. We'll put the reverser into neutral. Power is off. And now to do the procedure for getting the diesel on now. We'll go over here, put the lights on, get our fault reset. We'll click on that for a few seconds, I think 6 seconds.
Diesel mode requested. Press the fault reset push button for 3 seconds to confirm.
Okay, 3 more seconds. 2, 3.
Transition into diesel mode started. Diesel mode engaged.
Alright, you can kind of hear the engine starting up there in the background. It's not extremely loud. Wish it was louder. There it is, that diesel hum we love. Alright, so it automatically put the pantograph down for us, which is good. And there it is, guys. We are now back in diesel mode. We'll get the doors open, get the passengers off of here. And we will get off of here ourselves. Alright, we'll hop off the train. I'll let him take it the rest of the way. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, this was fun, unexpected for sure. But I'll definitely be back running this route some more. I do enjoy it much more than I expected. It's pretty cool. I like also how as you get closer to Dover heading westbound, you get farther from the city and you got more like trees and forest and lake happening. So the scenery actually also is pretty diverse and changes quite a lot. So anyways, guys, welcome to Dover. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, you have 3 choices: give up, give in, and give it all. You got peace, love, and God bless you. This was Train Sim World 6, and this is probably going to take me forever to edit. See ya.